have Jean-Claude Savoy on the phone.
Okay.
He's reporting that a python snake got out and killed 2 kids.
This is the story of 2 brothers who, during the night, were bitten and strangled to death by a large python. It is an incredibly terrifying and monstrous case of death. On August 5, 2013, 2 boys were sleeping in their friend's apartment. The friend's father owned a zoo store on the ground floor of their house. The father and son slept in one room, and the 2 brothers in another, all on the second floor. On that fateful night, while the brothers were in a deep sleep, a python that was kept in a specially made enclosure in the apartment escaped. The python got out of its enclosure through a ventilation opening in the ceiling where a fan had been removed for maintenance, providing the snake direct access to the air ducts in the ceiling. The python crawled out of its cage through the ventilation opening and moved through the ventilation pipes. At some point, due to its own weight, the python fell through a lightweight ceiling panel into the place where the brothers were sleeping. The boys were lying on a floor mattress located about 8 feet from the snake's enclosure. On the diagram, you can see the python's enclosure on the second floor in close proximity to the living room where the children were sleeping. The next morning, the children were discovered dead, their bodies having a bluish tint. An audio recording of the emergency call was made by the owner of the zoo store and the apartment where the children were sleeping.
911, where is your emergency?
Too Pleasant.
And
2 kids are dead.
what's the telephone number there?
759-9553.
Is that where you live, sir?
Yes, that's where I live.
Okay, and what do you mean the kids are dead?
That's where Reptile Ocean is. There's a python that got out and killed the two kids.
Say that again?
There's a python that got out. It's a store here. We have
a python?
Yeah, man.
Are they your kids?
Yeah, my neighbor's kids. She knows. She's here too. She's next door. She's freaking out.
Okay, stay on the line and put your feet to the end. Who lives there?
Hello?
Who lives there?
I live there.
What's your name?
Jean-Claude Savoy.
Okay. Hi there, it's the 911 service in Bathurst calling.
Okay.
The telephone number and the address have been confirmed for Hamilton.
Okay.
I have Jean-Claude Savoy on the phone.
Okay.
He's reporting that a python snake got out and killed 2 kids.
It's retarded.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
The snake's still out. I got another kid up there. I got to catch the snake. Can you just send somebody here, please?
2 days later, an autopsy was conducted on the bodies of the deceased brothers. The pathologist described numerous wounds on their bodies, many of which were on their faces and necks. The pathologist examined the python's head to compare its teeth with the puncture wounds and found matches, stating that the wounds were consistent with bites or attempted bites. Patterned abrasions on the skin and hemorrhaging in the neck muscles were also observed. Blood traces were found on their bodies. The primary cause of death was traumatic asphyxia resulting from the squeezing of the neck. The python, the killer, was euthanized the day after the children's death, and an autopsy was performed on its body. It was approximately 12 feet long, weighed just over 52 pounds, and had a body diameter of approximately 4 inches. During the examination, it was determined that the python's resting width was greater than the width of the ventilation duct it escaped through. However, the veterinarian conducting the autopsy described how a python could change its size by reducing the diameter of its body. Some experts expressed doubts about the incident, stating that such behavior from snakes of this type was extremely unusual, although reports of fatal attacks on humans had occurred before. There were doubts about why the snake did not consume the bodies after strangling the brothers, and whether it could kill 2 children at once in a single incident. The friend of the boys and his father, who slept in another room, were unharmed. Police records showed that the first responders found the owner of the zoo store with blood on his hands and shorts. The origin of the blood on his hands and shorts remains speculative. It could have belonged to the deceased brothers, as the zoo store owner checked their bodies and pulse when they were discovered in the morning. It could also have been his own blood, as the enraged python bit him, or he cut himself on debris from the collapsed ceiling and pipes. The possibility that the incident could have been murder rather than a python attack was ruled out by the police. It was established that the brothers spent that day on a family farm, playing with other animals such as llamas, goats, horses, dogs, and cats. One of the founders of a major Canadian zoo stated that snakes generally do not recognize humans as a food source, but if children smelled like animals, it could explain the attack. If a snake sees a body moving, emitting warmth, and smelling like a goat, it perceives it as prey, said the snake expert. The expert also stated that a snake's sense of smell allows it to detect nearby prey. The smell of food excites the snake and can act as a trigger for the reptile. The specialist said that snakes become more aggressive when they detect potential food sources nearby, so an attack would be unlikely if the boys did not emit animal odors. In the photos, you can see the brothers cleaning one of the enclosures for large reptiles. In this photo, the brothers are playing in the sand inside a glass enclosure for snakes. The expert also claimed that theoretically, a large python could constrict around both boys simultaneously. What do you think really happened? How did a python get out and strangle 2 children? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel.